I think you're seeing most of the companies, and I'll talk about General Motors, the incredible advancements that they're doing, and committing themselves to this electric vehicle and trying to make sure that that's where they're headed into the future. We can't be more thankful than what we just heard the announcements from General Motors and their investment in Macomb County, specifically at the General Motors Tech Center, with moving forward with batteries and the electrification that they're going to be doing there. I'm just going to mention, if I can, what's happening with Ford. We know they're doing the same thing, and unfortunately, we saw some of the investment kind of go out state. And yes, we are concerned about that. And I say that not in a negative regard, because we know that here in Macomb County, we've been able to help them when it comes to combustion engines with Ford and the plant that's just over there. You can actually see the plant here in Romeo. And as I always like to remind Ford, if you want it built Ford tough, think Romeo first. And if you're looking at going from combustion to electrification, we know this plant is capable of helping in that regard. And so we've been working with kind of a task force over there in Romeo to try to figure out how do we get them to really see and make that appeal to them that there's a viability and an opportunity for sustainability of a site that's been there for probably the last 6 or 7 decades. And so kind of uniquely poised as the position that we're in here today, and seeing what we've got with this groundbreaking news here in Macomb County, if you will. This marathon station, Steve is here, and if you'd like to talk to Steve, he's in the back, kind of a little bit about what's going on and the exciting news that they have of putting these stations here at their facility or their site. Again, you talk about a unique location. Anywhere you're coming up Benton 53, this is a great location to have such a, if you will, charging station for those that are getting into this electric vehicle mode. We know there's not a lot of them out there just yet, but I think part of this idea of getting people excited, knowing that's where the industry is headed, we got to make sure it's convenient and accessible for people that do want to get a recharge on their batteries. And so gas stations, we know, are plentiful. They're all over the place. But that wasn't always the case when we first started building automobiles. And so now that we're doing that switch over, yeah, it may be a little bit of an inconvenience now, but we're trying to make it more convenient. And DTE has been a huge partner in that regard.
We're really excited about our programs at DTE. Our number one program that we launched back in 2019 is our Charging Forward program. That program has 3 main components that we thought made most sense in order to help drive adoption of electric vehicles here in Southeast Michigan. That first component is education and outreach. Often we find that folks need to learn about this technology, so we put a lot of work and effort behind that. The second one is around a residential rebate program. We put about $1 million worth of rebates, about $2,000, and they're $500 for folks that buy an EV, any one of these EVs. They can apply to our program and get a $500 rebate towards putting a level 2 charger in their home. And then finally, the third component that we put together is a Make Ready rebate program for DCFCs like these beautiful assets that you see here. Those are, we have 90 of those, and I'm happy to report that we fully subscribed all 90 of them in our program. And the beauty of this is we're starting to take a look at our entire footprint to make sure we don't have any what we call charging deserts. We want to make sure that everyone has charging where they need it on a fast charge, so when they go longer distances, they can refill their EVs. So the program has been very successful. We're really excited to see this installation here, and we've got more to come. There is another program we're going to be launching probably around the February timeframe, but that's going to be our Charging Forward e-Fleets program. We've done a soft launch, but a lot of our tools and our capabilities are really going to be realized in Q1 of this coming year, where we're going to be working with fleet customers. So we're really excited. This installation is beautiful, and really happy to see it happen here in Macomb County.
The state first was hesitant on the site. We made a case. M53 going all the way up to Port Austin, main corridor on the east side in Macomb County. They were really pushing for I-75, and we made a case to be a player in the east side. And that's what we like to look at ourselves as a player on the east side. We've got a beautiful facility here. You get your vehicle charged. You can grab a sandwich, grab a coffee, get a haircut if you like, get your cell phone fixed, whatever you like. So we're very proud of the location, and very happy that everyone is here supporting us.
We're committed to trying to figure out not only advancing infrastructure when it comes to roads, bridges, and underground. And we've got partners in that regard, with the Department of Roads or Candace Miller from Public Works, to try to figure out how do we fix those problems that people see each and every day. But this is part of the infrastructure that we're talking about as well, making sure we have supportive, I guess, technology available to support the new type of vehicle where we're headed. And so with that being said, Macomb County is extremely excited to continue to figure out how do we advance and partner to make that happen.
We're at an interesting point in our history. If you look back at the turn of the century, the last century, they were coming off of wagons and going into these things called gas-powered vehicles, and they didn't know what the future was holding here. We're in the same transition now. We're transitioning from gas-powered to other forms of energy. Maybe it's going to be electric, maybe it'll be hydrogen, but either way, we're transitioning into a new era. And there's entrepreneurial opportunities to do that. Henry Ford made a lot of money when he got figured out the assembly line, how to manufacture the new type of way of getting around these gas-powered engines. Electrical vehicles could be the same thing. And so what you see here today is a precursor of the investment that's going to take place throughout our country, and especially here in Macomb County. We're one team, one mission here in Macomb County. Infrastructure is key. And the electrical infrastructure to support our electrical grid and our electrical vehicles coming is part of it. Roads, certainly, and underground infrastructure. And all those things, the Board of Commissioners committed to working closely with Mark and the Executive's Office to put all these pieces together so we can have one community that's being well served by their government.
Ford and GM and all these manufacturers, as you guys know, have announced by 2030 that they anticipate over 50% of their vehicles to be all electric, which is huge. And I know they're working very close with DTE to make sure the power grid can uphold all those electric vehicles in our home. We're excited from a dealership standpoint to learn and educate our customers on these vehicles. Like you see here at the marathon here in Romeo with the charging stations, all of our dealerships also have charging stations for our customers. So you are more than welcome to come in, not only purchase the vehicle from us and learn and experience what these vehicles are capable of, but you bring them back and charge them with us.
From concept to consumer, no one else does it better than Southeast Michigan. I mean, you're looking at some of these vehicles here, and the idea, the concepts that come about making these and creating it and then building it and putting it together can happen and does happen right here in Southeast Michigan. And as we're just mentioning some of these vehicles here, you can't help but look at the exterior beauty, but then obviously the components that go into it, from the various partners that are here, and you see the industry coming together. Here in Macomb County, we have an incredible cluster of assets from 696 all the way out here to 32 Mile Road between Mountain Road and Van Dyke. And again, that partnership I think that you've gotten from Ford, from FCA, from General Motors, we really have established something here in Macomb County. So we're excited about the future of electrification. But with that being said, we need partners, and we need folks that are going to help us when it comes to keeping these vehicles running. And that has everything to do with the electricity that's going into it.